Around this time last season, Sheldon Keefe started doing something unusual. He gave up trying to keep John Tavares and William Nylander together. It was a bit of a trial break, though not exactly, and it lasted until the playoffs. Tavares and Nylander were to start games separately. Next to the Leafs captain were worker bees Ilya Mikheyev and Alex Kerfoot, while Nylander made third-line returns with long defensive types Pierre, Engvall and David Kämpf. This was Keefe's attempt to bring some life to a stale combination. The Leafs coach may have to get creative again as the playoffs approach. One of the most important questions remaining for Keefe is what to do with Tavares Where, and with whom to play. Keefe rejoined the old loyalists in Nashville on Sunday night and reunited the once flamboyant, but eventually stale combination of Tavares, Nylander and Kerfoot. This is after a largely ineffective process between Tavares, Nylander and Michael Bunting. For weeks, nothing really worked on the second line of Leafs. Ever since Ryan O'Reilly came aboard and nudged Tavares very briefly towards the wing. Tavares spent a three-point night in Nashville. But in March, he only scored once in a 5-for-5. Nylander just took home a double punch. Tavares had only 17 field goals at these points, one less than Jake McCabe. Again, the Tavares-Nylander partnership has cooled a bit. Since the start of March, the Leafs have been trailing 7-3 in 104 minutes, which Tavares and Nylander have shared 5-5. Expected targets are a little more rosy, about 53%. The Leafs gave up on more shots and tries than they produced. That's not particularly encouraging for a duo who wasn't exactly dynamite in their minutes together against Tampa in last year's playoffs. Often they needed more help than Kerfoot could offer. Tavares and Nylander battle Kraken defender Jamie Oleksiak for the puck. The unit had a good night in Nashville, and it was Tavares who set up Kerfoot nicely for a touchdown in the second period. But Nashville isn't exactly Tampa. Also, the Leafs have been here many times before with this trio, and have found time and time again that it doesn't quite work. This is where the O'Reilly possibility comes into play. The O'Reilly-Tavares combination was certainly intriguing in a very short window. The underlying numbers were just so-so. But Leafs trailed teams 6-3 while these two were on ice, making life impossible for rival head coaches trying to keep Leafs' two-way attack. A Tavares-O'Reilly-Nylander line has real potential. However, with O'Reilly's recent return from a broken finger, there are signs that he will do so as the Leafs' third-line center and not Tavares. What signs? Namely, Kämpf has been centering the fourth line in recent weeks, while the third line has been fluctuating in their 117 lineup. It's easy to see O'Reilly slipping into third unit with Bunting and Sam Lafferty starting there against the Preds. Or maybe Nylander wants to try a similar look to Keefe last season. But of course Tavares, and he leaves some question marks in the second line. I mean, who's playing with it? Now it gets to the point that Matthews and Mitch Marner can't be separated once again. This combination is gas cooking once again, and Matthews has been looking better than all season lately. Calle Järnkrok has completed the trio nicely in recent weeks. Expected goals for Mitch Marner, Auston Matthews and Calle Järnkrok line in Nashville 99%. Jonas Siegel March 27, 2023, so what exactly is Keefe doing with Tavares and company? Can you trust him and Nylander, who have both been playing a little better lately, to find a way to work when matches really matter? Who completes the unit in this case? Bunting? A Curry? If not O'Reilly, someone else. Maybe what the Leafs are doing is designing separate looks for home road, featuring Tavares-O'Reilly together Kämpf as a third center a separate. Keefe has 9 games to explore. 5 points. The heater continues. Tavares is quietly preparing his second-best season as the Leaf. And although his 5-on-5 performance has slightly improved from last season, it's the power play where things really start out of control. I mean, consider Tavares setting career highs in power play before this season with 13 goals and 31 points. This season already, Tavares has scored 15 goals and 35 points in power play. Both are career records. Already. This is a game that Leafs implements regularly. Perfect power play.